This is why you should be careful on lonely roads at night. The old Ford moved down the empty highway. It was past midnight. The moon was hidden behind a blanket of storm clouds. John strained his eyes, trying to see through the darkness. He was late. A wrong turn had taken him miles off the course. Now he was driving through unknown territory. John held the steering wheel tightly, his knuckles white. He just wanted to get home. Each dark field he passed, each shadowy group of trees seemed to whisper unsettling secrets. The silence was broken only by the low hum of his engine and the occasional cry of an owl in the distance. As he rounded a bend, John saw a lone figure standing by the roadside. It was a young woman, her thumb out in the universal sign of a hitchhiker. She was wearing a white dress that seemed to almost glow in the darkness. He hesitated, a prickle of unease running down his spine. But the deserted road seemed to stretch on forever, and something about her sad expression pulled at his heart. He slowed to a stop.
Hey, need a ride?
The woman slid into the passenger seat, a sigh escaping her lips.
Thank you. I've been waiting here for ages.
No problem. Where are you headed?
Just down the road a bit. I was at a party, and my ride left without me.
John nodded, trying to ignore the strange chill that had settled over the car the moment she stepped inside. Her perfume, he realized, was oddly sweet and cloying, like old flowers. He focused on the road, his unease growing with every passing mile. They drove in silence for a while, the only sound the low hum of the engine. John tried to make conversation, asking about the party. She responded with vague answers, her gaze fixed on something outside the window. He noticed she didn't seem to blink, her eyes wide and unnaturally still. Suddenly she pointed to a small dirt road ahead.
You can let me off here.
John pulled over, a sense of relief washing over him. He was eager to be rid of the strange, unsettling feeling that had settled upon him since she got into his car. As she stepped out, he noticed she left no footprints in the dusty roadside. He watched as she turned, a faint smile on her lips, and started walking down the deserted road. Then, in the blink of an eye, she was gone.
What the?
John's heart raced as he stared at the empty road, his mind reeling with questions. What had just happened? Who was she, and where had she gone?
Vanishing into thin air. John stared at the spot where the woman had been standing, his heart pounding in his chest. 1 minute she was there, and the next she was gone. He rubbed his eyes, wondering if he had imagined the whole thing. The chill in the car, however, remained. It felt colder now, almost unbearably so. He took a deep breath, trying to calm his racing heart. It must have been a trick of the light, he told himself. There had to be a logical explanation.
He pulled back onto the highway, his hands trembling slightly on the steering wheel. He couldn't shake the feeling of unease, the memory of the woman's vacant eyes and her sudden disappearance. As he drove, he couldn't help but glance nervously at the passenger seat, half expecting to see her sitting there, her pale face illuminated by the dashboard lights. The further he drove, the more disturbed John became. He couldn't shake off the unsettling encounter. The image of the woman vanishing into thin air played over and over in his mind. He decided to stop at the next town, hoping to find someone who could shed some light on the mysterious hitchhiker and the dirt road she had pointed to. The town was small, just a handful of houses and a gas station. He pulled into the gas station and went inside, hoping the attendant might have some answers.
The old man behind the counter listened patiently as John recounted his strange experience.
That dirt road, it hasn't been used in years. Leads to the old Miller place, abandoned since the accident.
John felt a chill run down his spine.
Accident?
A young woman. Lost her life on that road 10 years ago. Car went off the road right where you said you saw her. Folks around here say she still wanders that road, looking for a ride home.
John's blood ran cold. He suddenly remembered the date, the anniversary of the accident mentioned in the newspaper clipping. He had encountered the phantom hitchhiker, the lost soul still searching for her way home. He left the gas station, the old man's words echoing in his ears. As he drove away, he couldn't help but glance back at the road leading to the old Miller place, half expecting to see the ghostly figure of the young woman, forever searching for a ride on that lonely, desolate road.